wall. You now have this Beastmaster who's putting more pushing pressure and looking more for fights early. And then you swapped out the Tiny for a Puck, who arguably is faster at coming online. So this is like upping the aggression. But at the same time, I think this is a better Nature's Prophet game than the previous one.
Okay.
I know Puck Coil can be annoying, but you're not facing the massive burst of a Tiny. You're not facing the Timber Saw shutting down a large amount of what your hero wants to do. So I think this time around, Timato could actually succeed in finding Tier 1 towers way faster and opening up the map, which is what TSM were lacking in Game 1, even though they ended up winning in the end on a bit of a major mistake on their own high ground from Gaimin Gladiators. So, yeah, I don't have a clear favorite here. I know the panel likes Gaimin Gladiators from upping the aggression, but I think Timato is the player to watch here for TSM FTX. His rotations are crucial.
Okay. We'll see if you are correct. As Tofu and company invading a bit here to try and take the bounty, and looks like they'll be successful, as it ends up being a 2-for-2. Can we quickly get a zoom in on the Shadow Shaman set real quick for Tofu? Let's go to the portrait mode there. That would be really great. If you're new to the game and you look at this hero, Synderen, does this look like a support, honestly?
No.
And what is the sword for exactly?
Yeah. He has a saber.
I mean, having said that, the set is god tier, but it doesn't make any sense. But I still love it.
That's why you love it. That's exactly why you love it.
That is very true. Bryle in the mid lane with this Pangolier. Boom this time playing the Puck, which is a hero that's kind of disappeared to a degree. What do you think about this matchup?
Should be pretty good for Puck. I think constant harassment onto the Pango. If you skill phase shift, you can block a big portion of the swashbuckle damage or the shield crash if you're quick enough, and maybe win the region exchange a little bit. Also, you're a good hero-to-hero counter in the mid game, right? Getting coiled as Pango sucks. It's hard to find a good shield crash for damage mitigation during it. You can get silence, and you can just get burst. Witchblade Puck is probably the way we're going to see Boom go here, and he will look to be an assassin all around the map. And the burden is on Dubu to try to cover people, which he did an exceptional job at in game number 1 on Pugna. So we expect no less of him on the Abaddon to do the same thing.
Yep. And top lane, Tomato will be playing Zen Nature's Prophet, as Dyrachyo playing the Monkey King here in the bot lane. I mean, we're seeing a lot of the same heroes, which I like the idea of kind of running it back to a degree. Like, if you feel like you made a mistake in-game and it wasn't like a specific pick that was the issue, I like the idea of having confidence in order to go for this similar lineup, if not exactly the same in some cases.
Yeah, I really don't mind it from Gaimin Gladiators. Like, they accomplished everything they wanted in the game, and then they dropped the ball. And it happens. Like, happens to the best. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Dubu couldn't save himself from that one. That was a big-ass impetus.
Indeed. So, Dubu. I mean, this is one of those heroes, once you get to level 6, of course. I mean, Dubu in general just loves these really tanky supports that takes forever to kill. I mean, he's a big Enchantress player as well. Feels like it covers the same sort of basis here for TSM, but not yet. Not so tanky until a little bit later. The Courier taken out here by Saberlight. And looking at the CS in the mid lane, 14-3 versus the 13-0 for... I mean, that's actually a pretty good start for Bryle, because, like you said, the Pango typically not the best of laners against some of these ranged mid laners.
I think this is usually how it's going to go, and then it's going to become more and more Puck favored now. Now that Boom starts leveling up the spells, the harassment might become a little bit too much to deal with over time. Bryle's going to stack Small Camp, though, so he'll get something there.
And talk to me about the Beastman. I mean, they have better egg solutions, which is kind of what the panel was talking about. That was the... I mean, they were winning the game despite that in game number 1, but this time they actually have some solutions, at least, to the egg, if Moon Meander was to get a ton of farm.
I mean, arguably, I don't remember the exact itemization of Tiny last game, but I don't know if Puck Beastmaster will be much better than the Tiny was if he had attack speed items. I know you're ramping up the entire team, so if they all get to hit, then of course, but that's generally not how it goes.
Is there any way that Dyrachyo on Monkey King goes for... I mean, I assume Battle Fury is just like a standard thing now, but is there any way that Echo Saber can be used?
Yeah, it's a possible
thing.
Cheap
of an item.
We have had other Monkey Kings go Echo, actually, so it's not out of the question. But I think the way Gaimin Gladiators play as a team and the way their strategies work, I would probably still advise the Battle Fury, and then the other 4 play aggressive, and Duracio does his thing and ramps up.
Dubu's courier is killed here. So the bot lane, Monkey King 21-6, and the top lane, Tomato, is sitting on 16-8. So a lot more denies, but not as much CS overall. So he's being pressured a little bit better this time around.
This is just such a strong lane. Inch Beastmaster is just a godly lane. It's so hard to deal with for so many heroes. If Tomato gets out of this pretty well, I think he's okay with that. Like, he knows that this is not favorable for him at all. Abaddon can cover him a little bit and protect him, but he's going to get denied a lot by Ench's creep and the 2 boars. It's just hard.
Saberlight pulling some creeps here as well. So, I mean, at what stage do you get out of here if you're Nature's Prophet? Or is there a point where... I mean, I guess the question is, how fast does Gaimin Gladiators want to push? Because they definitely have a lot of push potential with the Rost Awards, with Enchantress and Beastmaster in general.
I mean, I could see them do a top tier 1 tower dive already now, actually. The 5-minute siege creep is coming and Boom is level 6. So you could make that rotation as Puck here. I actually would really like it because Pango also isn't 6 yet. So if Boom were to go up there with this next wave, maybe Brawl would actually find 6 here. I don't think he will. He needs 1 more creep. Oh, hang on. Boom used his spell.
Okay, he has to
nice
foil
foil.
Defensively. Actually works out decently well to stun out Moon Meander.
Oh, I thought he had his spells ready again, and he could have turned that into a kill, but...
But now he doesn't have that for a potential gank, although speaking of which, Celery has come to feed himself away to Bryle.
Well, he killed the courier.
Oh, he also fed his way to Bryle.
Yeah.
Okay. He looked at the level discrepancy between the two. He's like, let me help you out here. Okay, we got the Shackle into the Boundless Strike. TP coming in from Dubu. We're going to be a little bit healthier thanks to the Mist Coil.
This is the thing that happens when Phoenix rotates off the bottom lane. If there's one support that's godly in 2v1, it's got to be Shadow Shaman. Like, you just have so much damage, so much control, and Monkey King easily gets up his Jingu stacks against Mars, so they have to TP down Abaddon to cover him.
Yep, and the rune advantage going the way of Boom, who will take this Illusion Rune.
2k raw advantage here just from laning. No towers taken.
Wow.
1 kill each. They're just crushing in the lanes. The biggest loser here is definitely Dubu. That sounded really rude. It wasn't meant like that. He's got 500 net worth. He has less gold than he started the game with.
Yeah, Duracio looking to take out Saberlight, but Dubu is here, and this is going to be turned around with the help of Tomato as well. So Duracio thought he had a freebie,
gank.
but he is completely surrounded.
What is this?
I mean, that's the power you have. I mean, it was just Tomato, I guess, with a global presence. But
is that good? I don't know. That seems a little bit crazy to bring 5 euros for a kill at minute 6. You're losing a lot of advantage in the mid lane here.
That's
like,
mental damage right there, done, though.
I guess so, but like, look at what's happening on the map in the meantime. Ench and Beastmaster are starting to push top tier 1 with the siege creep.
Yep.
Boom is now a full level ahead almost of Bryle in mid on his Puck against Pango. And now he's going to make the move himself. And this one could be very, very successful.
Yeah, Balance Strike is there, but Rebuke to kind of stem the bleeding a bit. But the coil onto 2. Looks like Saberlight might be able to get away. Meander was shackled, gets off the dive. Another right click should take him out, but Boom has to use all his spells to try and get away. They end up losing Moon Meander. Tomato looking to take out Tofu, but instead he's going to get turned around on. So 2 deaths for TSM. As Gaimin Gladiators extending their lead.
This is actually very stompy right now. Like I said before the game started, the panel knows exactly what's going to happen in this game. Gaimin Gladiators is going to roll them.
That's right.
Yeah, they're just dominating. It's a 3k lead minute 7. TSM obviously hit a timing when they get level 6 on Mars Phoenix, but that seems very far away. Saberlight level 4.
What?
Beastmaster is level 7.
Wow.
That's the state of the game right now.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty bad for TSM.
He found his 5 now, but this is what happens in some games with a Phoenix lane. Like, Phoenix has natural downtime whenever Fire Spirits are on cooldown, and with Phoenix being forced to rotate mid from Moon Meander, they left Saberlight in a 1v2 against Monkey King plus Shaman, and that lane is just unplayable. So he really fell on the back foot there. Aside from also just losing the lane heads up when they were playing at 2v2 in addition. So.
Top 3 net worth all on Gaimin Gladiator sides. All 3 of their cores. Coil missed though, so let's see if TSM can try and take advantage of this. As some damage is being done from these rallied skeletons.
Some damage.
Quite a bit of damage.
So
rally. How do you rally skeletons? That's what I want to know. It feels like some necromancy that only Slacks can probably answer. Needs to be like a chant in the game.
Then why don't you ask him?
Thanks, Cinderin.
You're welcome.
Saberlight's still level 5. Another couple creeps and he will be 6, but you can see so far away from Blink Dagger. And we'll see how much impact he's going to be able to have as Tofu's going to run into him. There's the Hex, Shackle, and you can see Monkey King coming in, but TP support is coming, and that's going to force Gaimin Gladiators. Actually, the tree is consumed, and that's going to be turned around onto Dyrachyo completely. Very nicely done from TSM. Again, it takes 4 of them, Cinder.
Oh, this one was well worth it, though.
Yes, oh, for sure.
This was 4 versus 2 instead of 5 versus 1.
That's true, yes. Great, great maths.
A little bit reminiscent of last game, Dyrachyo getting cut in the tree next to a tower.
Yep.
And punished there, but...
Saberlight, I'm guessing that was a replay because it would be quite disturbing if he'd be laughing at this moment when nothing's happening, really.
Or pushing bottom tower.
That tier 1 tower! Yep, there we go. Where's the... there it is, yeah. He just does that every 30 seconds just to keep everybody in check.
Actual maniac.
But yeah, the lead... Well, I guess with that tower, it is stemmed the bleeding a bit, but still 4K advantage for Gaimin Gladiators. And I mean, TSM, what we talked about this last time around, what's their avenue back into the game?
It's got to come from team fights, right? Like, you need to, whenever Gaimin Gladiators are looking to push a tower, you need to hit some sort of strong spell combo, whether it's Arena into Egg, whether it's a good Pango ult. Your skirmishing with your lineup isn't particularly good. You don't have any like low cooldown, easy, reliable stun setups, like some sort of Sanking Murano, whatever you can find picks with. So you need to look for the bigger fights, and that's what's happening here. We're going to see the smoke rotation now from Pango, Phoenix, and Abaddon. And now Mars will TP. They know this Roche is being done, but they're too late.
Yep.
Grab the Aegis. Hello!
Hello!
Oh,
he takes the Aegis! Are you serious? And they might get a kill on top of him. He misses the swashbuckle, though, and the spear helps Boom out! What am I watching? What in God's green horse was this, Cinderin? Gaimin is looking down upon us, smiling or frowning. I'm not sure. Depends on your perspective, but good lord.
I think Boom just forgot to make a slot, and then he kind of panicked and made the slot.
He Waning Rift into the wards. Holy
And then
geez.
here, so the swash here misses.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can understand why that missed, right? Because he was pushed onto the ledge, and while he was casting, and then he got bumped in. And then the spear pushes him out because that wall is not a wall. Did you know that?
I actually did know that.
Roshan actually lives in a cardboard castle. So the walls just get knocked over when you spear over them.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, despite that...
It's a very well-isolated cardboard castle, though. No light gets in.
I like how you're really running with this joke. That
Thank you.
Is not funny at all.
I'm having fun.
6K lead. They've doubled their lead in the last couple minutes, and that's without... I mean, they get the Roche kill, so that's some money, but we'll see if Gaimin or if TSM can take advantage of this Aegis. Still no defusal for Bryle. And, I mean, again, the Blink Dagger, that feels like kind of what they need from Saberlight. He's actually going to get coiled. We'll snap it immediately. And, yeah, he's just going to get surrounded. Even the rally creeps getting summoned to add insult to injury, and he is a full 1,000 gold off that Blink Dagger.
All right, I have a question. When's the last time you saw a game be 4-4 minute 12 and one team being 7,000 gold ahead?
I don't know. I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. So.
When's the last time you saw a cardboard castle?
Well, it's recently. That one I do remember.
That's good. There may still be hope.
That would be a good terrain cosmetic, just like a beach type of vibe, and then the Roche Pit is just, you know, it's like a sandcastle, like you said.
Yeah, but you just said it wasn't funny.
Now it's funny because you can make money off of it, right, Valve?
That's good.
That's right.
That's actually true.
Battle Fury now online for Dyrachyo.
Kind of like our casting, actually.
Terrible?
No, it's funny because you can make money off it.
Easy money. Yeah, just talking to you all day. What a dream. Definitely not going insane.
Oh, that's
good. The Dominator and Flats onto Ace.
It's fine.
He's got some creeps to work with, Bryle. All right, he's going to get mud golemed in just a moment. Waning Rift is there as well. Of course, they don't want to expend too much, knowing that the Aegis is still online. But, yeah, the net worth advantage is just... It's really difficult to see a way back in this game. And I know some of the conjecture from last game I was reading online, which is something you should never do, Cinderin, as the illusory orb comes out and Boom will live. But a lot of people focusing on Gaimin Gladiators, quote-unquote, throwing. I don't think they threw. Just a couple mistakes. I mean, you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pretty big mistake. But TSM, they were able to take advantage of it.
That game was still winnable after Monkey King died. It wasn't like, okay, we lost.
Yeah, of course.
So it was a combination of one major mistake and the enemy team taking maximum advantage of it, and then a cascade of following issues that came from it. But the game was definitely possible for Gaimin Gladiators, as we see a little bit of replay of last game here. Celery getting mashed to bits.
Yeah.
Oh, Coil mid.
Coil onto an Abaddon.
No ult on him, so Boom will grab that kill easily with his Witchblade.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, that evens up the game at 5-5. Don't look at the net worth. This game is definitely very close. Helm of the Overlord now online for Mr. Beastmaster.
Yep.
So those creeps will be nice and juicy. We can talk about how you'd like to fillet them again as Tofu. It's going to find Brile. Gets off the Hex to start. And the Orchid is there from Tomato. He's going to get the Sprout off as well, so Tofu looks to be an easy one.
Yep. And
they turn this round into more. Boom. All right, Waning Rift. Not able to get to the low ground, though. But they shift Illusory Orb and the Blink Dagger. Man.
I was about to say, sure, wish you had an Aegis now, brother, but he's fine.
He is perfectly fine.
He doesn't even need it.
He's just that good.
He gave Brile the Aegis to make the game more interesting.
All right, there it is. Blink Dagger for Saberlight. Has to be delivered. It'd be a real shame if that courier died right now, because that is... it's only 43 seconds slower than average. That seems wrong. Huh.
He doesn't have the most build-up items, right? He has Phase Bracer.
So he just abandoned the rest.
No Soul Ring, for example, or... I don't know what else. If some players go Double Bracer...
Aegis is down. Brile has to be a little bit careful. He's going to miss the swatch. There's Boom. Okay.
Nice.
Good energy. This will be a nice kill for TSM, but Phase Shift, keeping him alive a little bit longer, but no Blink Dagger up yet.
Nicely done there from Saberlight. He gets the tip from Tomato. So what Saberlight did really well here, he blinked on top of the puck, speared into forming the arena. You need to be in pretty close proximity to make this play, or the arena shapes too late. So nicely done there from Saberlight. If he does it in opposite order, there's a possibility for a juke there from the puck. So you see this one right here.
Yeah, that was pretty much impossible to dodge.
There you go.
Beautifully done from Saberlight. Now showing off that Blink Dagger, of course, as we come back to live, and oh, Celery's dead.
Okay. TSM.
That's what we want to see. There we go.
That clip is actually from when they were pushing the bottom Tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they just compiled all the clips of that Tier 1 tower push, and they can make a montage out of it. Saberlight, very emotional player. There it is again, the hysterical laugh. Something like that, I think, is how he actually sounds as Tofu.
Krusty the Clown on Mars.
Saberlight. I'm surprised you know that reference, Cinderin. He's inside the Wukong's command. Will get shackled, but there is the cancel from the Orchid. So first death on Gaimin Gladiator's side. I mean, TSM are winning the kill advantage, Cinder, 9-5, and this game is still quite stompy in favor of Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, it's funny how last game the score was, what was it, TSM were up 15-3, I think, and it was even. So this time around, just, again, way more value out of the map coming the way of
Saberlight thought he might catch out Dyrachyo on a tree since the Mars Arena does destroy them, but just a little bit off. Oh, he actually hits the spear, but Boom comes in with the coil, so immediately be snapped. Waning Rift and Illusory Orb. The Witchblade doing quite a bit of damage over time, but looks like Saberlight will limp it off.
You know what this game has in common with the last game?
That it's Dota2?
That is correct, which is good, but Ace is top net worth again.
Yeah.
And again, he has like 11 CS per minute as Beastmaster. He is insanely farmed.
And he's pushing the tower with this big black dragon.
Drumming it up.
Trying to get the deny off, but Ace is still going to get it nonetheless. So it feels like everything going the way of Gaimin Gladiators. And, I mean, this is a game, for sure, TSM, despite having the kill advantage, will know that they are quite far behind. Last game, it felt strange almost watching, you know?
Yeah.
But this one a little bit more obvious. I mean, the tower advantage definitely in favor of Gaimin Gladiators. Tofu Looking for a potential opening here. No Blink Dagger for him for another 800 or so. Dyrachyo still working on... I mean, I keep forgetting how early game it is. It's only 19 minutes.
It's kind of crazy. Look at the net worth advantage. 60% of it is in the offlane. It's Beastmaster versus Mars.
Yeah,
He's 5k up on it.
All right, Celery tanking the gank again.
Oh. Stick.
It's going to take them a while.
Oh!
Okay, nice dodge into the pit. The cardboard boxes are there, Cinder. He's going to finally go down to the Mistcoil, but here comes the Wukong's command from Dyrachyo, wanting to get some revenge. Not able to take out Saberlight, though, as the egg creating a lot of space, but Waning Rift, beautifully timed, ends up taking out Bryle in turn. Now the coil onto 2. You can see Dubu popping his ult to get out, but Mumienner won't be so lucky. So double kill for Boom.
I don't know if Dubu will be so lucky either. Now I know he will.
He does have a TP.
He's okay.
And a smoke that he's readying up.
Guess he'll use this opportunity to place a ward. Unfortunately, if he places it here, it will be in a sentry. He won't, though.
Okay, in the trees and... Okay, TPing out. Yeah.
You gotta relax.
Sorry about that.
Dyrachyo.
9k lead for
Dyrachyo on
Gladiators.
Tomato here. There is an Ench rotation coming in. This could be a potential play.
Yes.
They have...
Okay, he's going to jump him now, but here comes Saberlight with a counter initiation. Mars Arena as well. Dyrachyo pops that BKB, going for Tomato, has that Jingu stack up. He's going to just run away, it looks like, as the Rolling Thunder coming in.
It feels like we've barely seen that spell this game, now that you say that.
What's that?
Rolling Thunder.
What about it?
We've barely seen it.
I've seen it once, at least.
Yeah, for a 20-minute game, it's been very quiet.
That's true.
I mean, I guess in most of the situations, Bryle hasn't necessarily had to use it, so it makes sense. It's just it's an outlier. And perhaps it is a, you know, perhaps it is a sign of what the shortcoming is of TSM strategy here with the lack of a low cooldown initiation for Bryle.
Yeah.
The comparison to the strategy they had last game where Bryle was on Kunkka, he could set up the fights for the Phoenix and for the Nature's Prophet to come in. This time around, when they don't have that setup and have a Pango instead, they have more heroes that are dependent on the offlaner. And since Saberlight got shut down so much, that's really where that advantage comes from. Pango can't really unlock his potential because he doesn't find the fights he wants. And it's a kind of a similar story all the way across the board. So makes you wonder what made them opt for the Pango over Kunkka here, because they were all in the pool, I think. But they just chose a different direction this time around to mix it up. This one has not looked as successful, though.
Yep. Oh, DD. Bryle is going to take it, but at what cost, Cinderin? He's going to get
right,
off.
Breaky. At what cost?
Gets roared. Yep, Lacoste will be very happy with that reference, of course, as he's actually going to get off the ult. No, gets hexed again, but there's a nice Mars Arena coming in. They're going to lose their roster to start this fight, but they still have the Aegis advantage. Bryle finally getting the Rolling Thunder off. Only connects onto 1, as Mumienner creating a little bit of space thanks to the Stun Ray. But now it looks like TSM on the retreat. Boom gets a nice Waning Rift onto 3 heroes, but instantly orchided and just right-click down, but he does have the Aegis, and Dyrachyo trying to clean up. He gets the Phoenix. Tomato looking to be next, but Dyrachyo has to be careful. Finally, Boom comes back from that Aegis reincarnation, focusing on Tomato. Oh, did he dodge a swashbuckle? I think he did, but dies nonetheless. Triple kill for Bryle. TSM actually showing some life here. Boom, this will be a very difficult pickup. Loser Orb's going to be faked. Boom. TPing out. Yeah.
I'd love to see a replay of that last fight. I think Dyrachyo actually making an uncharacteristic mistake for himself there. It's going to be toward the later portion of this, though. So notice how when Puck chases here and catches all of these... Oh, well, I don't know who really catches who here. Dyrachyo is going to start fighting Tomato, and he's going to use his stun here to connect the stun on both Tomato and the Abaddon. The problem is Tomato still has BKB, and now when Dyrachyo gets the stacks on Jingu, he doesn't have the stun. Right. If he has the stun there, he gets almost a full heal by hitting 4 Treants and the Nature's Prophet, and he would have survived there and got himself a much, much better fight. But
of course, you don't know that ahead of time, and trying to min-max as a pro player, that's a pretty standard thing, right?
Yeah, and the double stun does look juicy, right? Because you're like, okay, I can stun the Nature's Prophet and the guy who can save him from the stun at the same time, but the BKB was ready from Tomato.
Right.
And that cost him a lot in that instance.
Bryle with the instant roll-up Rolling Thunder. The rest of his team is smoked up, so maybe they think that Rolling Thunder being down, that TSM will not try to be aggressive, so this could be a good opportunity for them, as they've cut the lead to 6k now. And we'll see if they have a second comeback in them. Mars Arena breaks the tree, so Monkey King Dyrachyo done. Another death for him. You can see his reaction.
He's feeling the heat.
Yep, for sure.
Last game, obviously we've talked about his mistake in the enemy base. He also ended the game with a negative scoreline as carry. I think it was 5, 8, and 7. Which you wouldn't have expected with how the game played out, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, he's also really being punished by, in this instance, the Mars. Saberlight is finding a lot of openings. Now 2, 4, and 3 on that Monkey King, so need to stabilize a bit. Obviously, still a good game state for Gaimin Gladiators. I don't think they're all too worried, but you are losing a lot of momentum on that Monkey King, who was far ahead earlier on and is now... You know, I don't know if he was far ahead of the Nature's Prophet, but he was like ahead of the curve of the game. Now it feels like it's more equalized.
Yep.
He's basically same net worth as the mid Pango now.
And Tomato leading the way again. I feel like he is one of the most consistent position ones in Dota right now. Feels like he rarely has a poor performance. And a lot of it can be said because of the supporting cast of TSM creating so much space, especially when we've talked about Moonmeander so much, but Dubu, he's one of those guys that just sacrifices his life constantly in order to help out his position 1 Tomato and the rest of his team, of course.
Dubo is just a very good defensive support player, and I think that's something that TSM have identified as like the way, if they can use that player identity in their strategies, it's how you get the most value out of him. So putting him on heroes like Pugna or Abaddon has paid major dividends in their journey to get here. They're going to keep running it whenever it's good, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course, Gaimin Gladiators.
Coddle as well, another hero he plays.
They lost game 1, so they need to win this in order to extend it. But if TSM come back and win, then they will be going to the upper bracket finals of the Stockholm Major against Tundra, who have, I think, probably looked the best. I thought Gaimin Gladiators and Tundra both looked as the top 2 most impressive teams so far. But that game 1, a little shaky, Cinderin, in this series. So maybe Tundra are just a half step above everybody right now. But of course, there is time for these teams to prepare. Since this is not an elimination series.
Also don't want to overreact on one game, right? Or like TSM are definitely showing some good fighting spirit here, but you know, they're still behind by, I would say, a decent amount. So not in the clear, but they're stabilizing, which is what they need after a terrible start. This mid tower should fall shortly. Celery will poke at it a little bit with his creep on himself, and I think Duba will just deny it now, probably.
And the tier 2 bottom is dead as well. So Gaimin Gladiators losing something in place of this likely to be denied tier 2 tower in the mid lane. We'll see if they end up doing it or not. Should mention, Beastmaster has had his shard for quite a while, so he has the diving hawk thingy, which is one of the best things in the entire game for sure. And Rasta actually did pick up the shard from Roshan, so you have the Serpent Words on Shackle. I'm surprised that they don't think the Mischief Monkey King shard is good enough to give in that case.
The Shaman one's really good.
I'm not saying it's not good. It's just typically if something's like close to being the same power level, you're going to want to give it to your core in most cases, right? Maybe Mischief is worse than I thought. It sounds cool. Dubu getting gone on. Still has his ult available. There's the initiation from Bryle. Dubu's ult will pop, though. They're focusing on the Rasta. Gets off the shield crash as well. He just gets demolished. And there's the egg with the arena combo. And TSM are going to get 3 kills at the very beginning of this fight. So it feels like they're doing it again. Of course, they cannot transition this into Roshan because it's not quite up yet. And Puck, okay, he's going to get speared on top of the Orchid. What is that initiation? Dyrachyo left to his own devices, has to pop the BKB and just TP out inside his Wukong's command. After all that, they only lose the Abaddon. Very, very cocky play from the Puck.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just so uncharacteristic from what we've seen from Gaimin Gladiators this tournament. Like, they take that fight 3v5. They get jumped. Ace doesn't BKB until like 10% health, so he barely gets to play his hero that fight. He held it and I think he got Arena speared. They were just not ready. And a huge fight again for TSM and are basically back in the game. So they're starting this push, right? Tofu's in the middle of the river, gets rolled on by Pango, doesn't get to play his hero all fight, by the way. He's chain stunned and dies.
Yep.
So there goes the burst with an Ace Prophet ult. And look at Beastmaster basically in the middle of everyone walking in, getting stunned. Pops BKB and dies. And that was just an absolute freebie for TSM. Gaimin Gladiators also weren't together for that play, right? Puck came in late. Monkey King came in late.
Man, Saberlight has the best facial. I'm going to say facial animations.
He just has the best face.
It's not expression. It's animation because we're in the digital world now. Big fan of him. Of course, they weren't able to play with him early in the tournament since he did have COVID in his on their boot camp, so he had to kind of delay his return to this tournament. But since he's been back, they have been crushing, and it's great to see for the NA scene, of course. But I mean, with that, TSM have come back into the game. They're down 1K when this looked unachievable, especially 2 games in a row to do this. Just absolutely insane. Waning Rift, nicely done onto 2. Gonna try to chase him potentially. Dubu still has that ult available. Bryle gets off the stun onto the Enchantress, looking for Boom. Not gonna find him. They do get the Rasta though.
This is a clearly worse Rolling Thunder than last time, but with Shaman out of the play, I don't think Gaimin Gladiators are really going to look to fight here. But they're right on top of an Obs. They see everything. TSM gonna jump in.
Shield crash with the swashbuckle. The Lincoln's applied. It's gonna get procced. Looks like the buyback on to Tofu. He's gonna TP back as soon as he can. And the chase is on to Celery, who's actually just gonna live. See if they're able to get anything more out of this. The D-Ward battle begins. Of course, this is the fight for the third Roche, but it's not up yet. Haste Rune is gonna spawn. There's the ult. Mars Arena comes out. Dyrachyo pops that BKB. Wukong's command. Several heroes inside. This could be a good fight for Gaimin Gladiators. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 for the supports, but Saberlight just barely limping away. Finally goes down to Boom's right click. A nice boundless strike onto Moon Meander. Gets off the dive, but doesn't create enough space to get away. Now Dyrachyo, though, nice swashbuckle. He's gonna go down. Double kill for Bryle. And the buyback onto the Mars, so Saberlight will be here soon. Ace has to BKB TP. Bryle still has his ult. Gonna try to find somebody. Boom might be the target they really want, but Celery will probably be the consolation prize instead.
He has Force Staff here.
Okay, Force,
okay.
And he's fine. Another Rolling Thunder with not much connection for TSM.
All right,
Roshan.
Finally, Gaimin Gladiators showing up to a proper fight here. This
5 seconds. Will they see him? Will they see him?
Tomato's putting treants in there. They'll know.
They know.
They know with the orb too.
Okay.
Perfect timing there from Boom.
Roche number 3. This is Refresher Shard. Monkey King dead for 40 seconds. Gaimin Gladiators do have buyback on him though. Let's see if they want to expend it.
Ace has Roar again. Last fight, he threw it on a low HP
Yeah,
Abaddon.
and they have the Hawk for vision, but it's going to get destroyed by the Swashbuckle, so no dive bomb. Okay. Bryle and Saberlight looking for a kill. Is buying space for Monkey King to get back in the game normally.
The Orchid!
The Sprout Orchid! Will this be a kill on the Boom? Yes, it will! He does have buyback, though. And into the pit, TSM go.
He can travel into any of Beastmaster's summons here.
There's the buyback. Monkey King coming back in 3 seconds. This should be enough time for TSM to get the Roshan items. There's Bryle with the ult to ensure that he can get it. Aegis of the Immortal goes to Tomato. And they find the kill on the Enchantress. I believe they got all the items. We'll have to double check in just a moment. Refresher Shard onto Bryle. And Cheese was picked up as well. So TSM take the lead. That was a 6K net worth swing just from the Roche fight and the little skirmish before that.
And now we're approaching a game state similar to the end of the last one, where Moon Meander almost has Refresher Orb on Phoenix, level 18.
Yeah.
Mars is almost level 20. Dyrachyo gets caught again!
Okay, Mars Arena. They don't have enough damage to actually follow it up, though, so Dyrachyo's going to be fine thanks to the BKB pop. But there's a Sprout again with that leash mechanic. Nice egg for Moon Meander. They're going to be able to kill off the Rasta at the very least. Cheese is popped by Saberlight. Spears Dyrachyo away from his own Wukong's command. And there's the connection from Bryle with the Rolling Thunder. Couple more right clicks will do it, but no gets Force Staff to safety. Looks like he's going to be able to get away just fine. And TSM looking to potentially reset. Looking for Boom again. Oh, he gets the Sprout. Okay. The phase shift is enough for him to not get leashed. Man, that is a scary freaking spell leak. I'm not going to lie.
It really feels like Boom is paying the price for not having an Orchid counter right now on his puck.
Yeah,
like, Tomato
sure.
just has his number in these fights a lot of the time.
Oh, he actually leaped into that. That was really bad timing. I mean, there's no way you know that's happened. That's just super unlucky, I feel like, from Dyrachyo.
That wasn't really a major loss from Gaimin Gladiators, though. They kind of trade evenly in that fight and buy themselves some time against the Aegis. So I don't think that was all that awful. Even though it was a good catch from Saberlight, the connecting damage wasn't there to begin with. So
yeah,
Dyrachyo did get to play the fight.
It looks like Boom is going for Octarine. So still not going for anything to count. Maybe a teammate is going for like Lotus or something. I mean, he has
Kaya Sanj, but
yeah,
it feels like.
I mean, he has Eon Disc in his quick buy as well.
Disc would be fine. Then he has that covering, right?
But he went Aether Lens first, so I assume he wants to finish Octarine, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he can. Maybe he feels like he can get away with it and get both and not get caught out. You got to be really careful, though. Tomato has been on point with finding him. Whenever he orbs across the fight, Tomato just follows him with teleport and kills him. Really needs to be careful there.
TSM, smoke up. Still with the refresher shard. On who? Maybe not. Am I wrong? I don't see it anymore. Maybe they must have used it for egg, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't notice either.
I guess so. Either way, still have Aegis, still have Cheese. Nope, never mind. They ate the Cheese as well, so it's just Aegis. I'm paying attention.
Which makes that mid-fight even better for Game.
That's
right?
true.
Ace.
Okay, Orchid it up inside the Sprout now. It's going to be forced to BKB. There's a Rolling Thunder coming. But he's just taking too much physical damage. He actually uses Roar, but just gets right-click down shortly after. That's the gem on the deck.
Wait, he was here completely alone, right?
I guess so.
Again, just... Okay, I feel like it's easier to see this as a mistake when the team has just lost a big advantage, right? But I just feel like this is not how Gaimin Gladiators have been playing in other parts of the game, whether ahead or behind in other series here. Like some uncharacteristic... That felt like he was in the middle of nowhere on Beastmaster there. And they just punish it immediately. All right, Shadow Shaman gonna find a bad together monkey.
Forced out the borrowed time.
It's a pretty short cooldown though on that level 3 ult, only 40 seconds, so reckon they won't be able to use that for anything really.
Tomato has the Butterfly, Assault Kuros, and is... Does he have Shadow? Yeah, he has Shadow Blade and Silver. Okay, so he has the full Silver Edge at base. God, he's so farmed again. And he is 7K above the next net worth, which is Doracio's Monkey King. You just have to think, without a few of those deaths, where they would be right now for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, for sure. They had the game under control, they were dominating the map, and then they started spreading it a little bit too thin, got caught, made a couple of misplays in fights with spell usage, and here we are. TSM again coming back from terrible game position, just like in game 1. I think this time the win expectancy for the Radiant was 86% minute 20.
Really?
Yeah, so very, very far ahead again. Not that you can always just take that for as gospel, but...
It is Gaimin.
Yeah.
Gaimin has spoken. Now Tomato. Aegis is about to expire, so they don't really get the best value out of it. But obviously, just the fact that they have denied that Roshan to Gaimin Gladiators is kind of a big deal, and that was probably the stamp of comeback, I guess you could call it, from TSM. That's not English, but we'll pretend it was. Just ignore it.
See.
Don't listen to me anymore. Orchid. Forcing out the BKB. Wukong's command coming from Doraccio, but Tomato's already outside.
Oh, he baited all that stuff with just a Sprout?
Yeah. I mean,
BKB, Wukong's command, the whole thing, and they didn't see any other hero than Ephira, and he was just terrified of getting piled on there.
I mean, you can't blame him, though.
It's easy to say from our perspective, because we can see where the enemy heroes are, right?
Right. But based on what's happened so far this series, I can understand that reaction, right?
They're in his head a little bit, I think, and now they're using it to their advantage. In this position, if Monkey King is pushing or defending that wave, you could easily have a Hawk in the neighborhood to give him some sort of feeling of safety or protection, but he had no vision to go on whatsoever, and Tomato just baits him out.
Octarine Core on Bryle. All right,
yep,
so
have that on both him and the puck.
61-second cooldown on Rolling Thunder. And
double damage
once
rune
he's 25,
here. Oh, Tomato.
Yeah, that's nice. Of course, no Roshan for, well, we won't know for a minute and a half. What do people usually go on Pango 25? Is it the Rolling Thunder cooldown talent? I feel like because you go Octarine, you will definitely go that this time.
Yeah, it's generally that one.
No, you're wrong.
No. The bottom is the pick rate.
Thank you for pointing that out. Bryle, okay, he gets the bash. They're focusing on Celery. There's the break, and there's the death.
In your defense, reading a graph with 2 points can be difficult. So
We'll just say NA math and be done with it, Cinderin.
I'll take that.
Bryle with the basher that we saw there. Obviously a great pickup on any Pango player. Almost guarantee a bash on a swashbuckle. And okay, they are gonna find Tofu as well. I mean, these are just support pickoffs, but if you can find them around the time that Roche spawns, that could open up the opportunity just for a freebie.
This kill is actually pretty important because my name is not Sonderin, thank you very much, but...
Sonderin.
Wow, I really lost my trail of thought.
All right,
because
I get a point.
I know.
I get a point because he spaced out and couldn't remember what he was going to say. That's old man right there.
Are you making your own rules for this?
Yeah.
So this kill on Shaman might not seem that big, but it was actually costing him his BKB. And that is an important item timing right now.
Okay.
Tofu was trying to find that in the side lane. He's very, very close. And with a BKB, he's been very unimpactful this game compared to what we usually see. He's been shut down by Pango over and over and over again. And if he can finally get himself a BKB, he can get in, get the reliable dispels off, at least bare minimum force an aphotic shield so they can roar someone. And, you know, get the Serpent Wards placed well. I'm actually going to smoke now with a 200 gold to go for that BKB. Ooh. Not ideal timing, but
Bryle
worried
takes
about
out the
Roche.
Courier, and I think that was the Eon disc. The rest of the Eon disc in there. That's a pretty big deal. So a few minutes without that.
It's 25 on Puck, so he has the piercing coil, which means they can't BKB TP out here.
Pango
or
roll.
move on Pango, of course, which is the bigger thing.
Yeah. His ult will be up in 5 seconds because of that talent. Oh, Tomato barely out. The roar is what Ace was looking for.
Pango ult here.
Bryle, Rolling Thunder. And not sure if you're going to find anybody. Okay, Ace. Looks like he's fine. Okay, even the Mars Arena is expended.
Oh.
Man, they are whiffing on everything right now. Great movement from Gaimin Gladiators being prepared for this. With these ults down, I don't think they can go for Roche anymore. I
love the play from Bryle, though. He has Arcane Rune and the 25 talent. His ulti has 7-second cooldown after it ends. So he's literally using it as a scouting tool just for information. You're going to see when it runs out now. The Arcane Rune's still running, so you can use it 3 times on the same Arcane Rune. It's ready again in 5.
Oh my god.
So you might as well just throw another one while the Arcane is active.
Roche up in 50 seconds.
He might just do it now, honestly. Will he? Yeah. Let's go again, boys.
Yeah, why not?
And he goes, is he going to find someone here? Uh-oh.
Okay, he jumps over Dyrachyo. Dubu, his ult is procced immediately. Focusing on Celery for now, but you can see Bryle not really interested in this fight. Dyrachyo. Okay. He's going to go on to Moonmeander, but there is the egg with the Sunray. Dyrachyo inside the pit will use the Wukong's command, but I don't think TSM even were interested in going on that to begin with. Rolling Thunder now coming, knowing that the rest of Gaimin Gladiators will have to back up, and a nice coil! Beautifully done. Will he be able to kill the Pangoliers? Very close. He's still leashed. Finally goes down, buys back into the game, but now the focus on to Saberlight. 2 dead in the blink of an eye, and TSM are losing everybody. We'll have to buy back en masse. Dyrachyo did fall, so the 1 death for Gaimin Gladiators, a pretty important one, as now they're focusing onto Tomato. Bryle gets the nice bash into the shield crash. Tomato inside of his own Sprout, trying to stay alive, and doing better than that. He's getting a triple kill, Cinderin. Boom, inside the arena now. Saberlight cancels that TP. Bryle, he's just in Rolling Thunder. It feels like a bug that he's just constantly rolling all over the map, and Roshan is up with Aghanim Scepter.
Bryle was not accounting for the Puck 25 talent there at all, the way he played that. Just rolled straight into that trap. They felt very confident because that Monkey King ult was kind of wasted, but the Puck was ready, and they found what was looking to be a pretty good fight here for Gaimin Gladiators, but just the buybacks and reconnecting into the fight there. And they kept Tomato alive, and also they baited. This was a fight of baits all over, actually. So they start chasing Tomato after this fight goes so well for them, and they hold the buyback so long until they approach the outpost. That's when Mars buys back as well, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. So there's the Mars buyback as well. And the other heroes have already bought back previously, so they've connected, and the Mars buyback does result in that final Puck kill as well. And now we're down mid-racks.
Indeed. Into the base we go. Tier 3 tower. Getting very low. Puck does have buyback. Down for a minute. We'll probably have to use it if Gaimin Gladiators want to try and defend. Rolling Thunder again from Bryle, who has Aghanim Scepter thanks to Roshan. Using it to full effect, and a couple levels away from getting the talent as well, which is going to be super scary. They take the full rack in the mid lane, and now they're just going to continue on. they'll probably assume that Puck does not have buyback, even though he does. There it is. And that will be TSM trying to back away. But the roar onto Bryle. Okay, the Mars Arena comes out inside the coil, though. Bryle gets off the Rolling Thunder again. Trying to find a kill, will do so. But they lose the Monkey King. Duracio's dead with no buyback. 2 minutes. Dunzo. Aegis and Cheese still intact for TSM. No end in sight for them. 22K net worth lead. And this is minimum second racks, probably game. We'll see if they try to reset with this Aegis and whatnot. Doesn't look like it. Saberlight. All right, they're going to be able to find Celery with very little expended, in fact. But not much needed. Now it's 5 versus 3, 6v3 if you want to count the Aegis. And the throne push continues for TSM, focusing on the tier 4 towers now. 1 is down. Eventually, 1 will be down. Bryle, swashbuckles in. Phoenix still has the refresher with Egg if they really want to try to fight this. Spear into the Rebuke. That is an easy kill onto the Rasta. Buys back into the game. Another Rolling Thunder from Bryle. Inside that Sprout as well. They are just perpetually locking down Ace on the Beastmaster. And TSM have somehow come back in 2 games in a row. And they are in the upper bracket finals against Tundra.